and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here today for another Final Pour episode. You know, the Final Pour episodes, they kind of seem like a very sad thing because here we are at the very last bit of the bottle, and I care not to let that sit long enough for it to turn and go bad. I drink them. I only keep so many bottles on my shelf at a time. I don't want them to go bad. They do say that there's a formula that works. So from here to the shoulder, it's like 2 years or so. Then it gets closer to the middle, it's roughly 1 to 2 years. Anything below halfway point, the clock's really running in under a year. People say it's about 25% down there. You're gonna have a couple of months, 6 months tops. That's a formula. I think it's fairly accurate. The more times you open it and the more times that the captured gas releases and then the fresh oxygen replaces it, it starts the process over. And the weaker the spirit is, every single time that happens, makes it weaker. I forget what it's called and the formula for that, but it's exponential. Every time it does it, it goes faster and it degrades faster, and it degrades by a higher percentage. But here we are. Final Pour episode. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my returning viewers, always good to see you. Come on in, let's get it on the road, shall we? So, let's do the rundown for all the new people out there. So, Mr. Randy does a 3-part series when he does his whiskey, wine, spirits, libations of sorts reviews. Part 1, all the way back here, off the rip, we get the bottle home, crack it open, pour it in a glass, have my first impressions, and share them with you because I care. Sharing is caring. Part 2 is going to be right about here-ish. Right about here-ish, depends on how good the spirit in the bottle is. And it's going to be called the Full Review, Episode 2. I'm going to give whatever's left in that bottle enough time and space to open up, see if it goes for anything better, anything worse. It is what it is. So I'm going to go on the internet. I'm going to find as much information as I can, look through reviews, websites, whatnot, until my brain starts to go numb. I'm going to come back and I'm going to share it with you. We're going to do the full review. Part 3, where we are today, off the rip, all the way down here, we're going to take this final pour, pour it in the glass, and compare it to the first pour and everything in between. So this is Gilbey's gin, and we're going to have the final pour. This looks like it was cutting it pretty close. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good enough. I mean, now I normally do not drink gin neat. It's only for the one of the 3 parts to the review process. I normally drink a gin and tonic with ice. It's very nice. As you can see, well, we'll give it a minute. Let's get that nosing on there. So Gilbey's gin, this was I don't feel it's adequate saying that it's a bottom shelf. It's inexpensive. It's not cheap. It's inexpensive. Very good quality. It says so right there. Quality and tradition. There you go. It has to be true because it's on the label. Here we are. On the nose, there's a certain different character that has changed. There is a sort of sweetness, like a sour sickness. I don't want to say sickness. A sickly sweet sourness, where it's like where a fruit starts to rot and go bad, and it's a little bit of that fermentation process where the sugars break down, and you're getting the off-gassing. And now it kind of tastes. It smells like almost like a caramel sort of twinge to it, like a caramel and something that caramel, vanilla, spiciness. It's got a very beautiful nose. This is a wonderful gin. This is definitely a shelfer for sure. I probably will go out and buy a handle of 1.75 liter of this, just so that I have something that I could drink in my gin and tonics without having to mess up the whole timeline for my reviews. I think this is definitely the one, because this 750 milliliter bottle I think was like a little over $11 out the door. So just like $12 out of your pocket just to get you going, to have a few drinks during the week without messing with my my bottles for review. I don't think I've reviewed quite a few gins by now, most of them in 2025. Most of them were inexpensive. A couple of them were cheap. Most of them inexpensive. A few of them quite expensive for gins. Like we're talking like $40, a little over $40. But those are imported and very special. So your average gin could be had from anywhere from This one's 10, but most of them you'll see are usually between $20 and $30. But you have a few that are under that price point, closer to the 10. This one's closer to the 10 and hits the mark, hits every mark. So beautiful. So let's go ahead and get that on the pallet. Let's get that first pallet out of the way. I need to get back to my writing. I got a short story that's unfinished. It's just sitting there. I'm at the very ending. That's what I have. That's the problem I have. It's not necessarily writer's block, but I sprint all the way through it. And I get to the end and I'm like, I can't make the decision. I can't just finalize and be like, that's what I want, because the ending wraps it all up and makes it worth the whole journey. And I'm stuck on this ending. But it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get that second one. It's got a nice mellow sweetness. It's got some good spice. It's well balanced. And it seems to stay pretty much well balanced from top to tail. The finish, well, I haven't got the finish yet, but it doesn't seem to linger too much and give you a bad aftertaste like some of them will. This one's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get that finish and we'll be done with it. It does have some pretty good viscosity. It transfers well into the mouth and on the palate. It coats the mouth very nice. Coats the mouth nicely. Kind of slipped up in there. It's a little too juicy. Get a little bit of spice across the back of the tongue. Probably not even a 2. Not a whole lot of heat going on the back either, but like barely a 1. Not a whole lot going on the sides, the cheeks, the jowls, the lips, the gums, nothing yet. But if you're ever into gin, haven't tried this, or if you've never had a gin and you're looking to try it and you don't want to go too far, I do believe I have, they have samples. They have the 50 milliliter samples. I would suggest buying one of those and then buying a cheap $1 bottle of tonic water and maybe just filling up a glass, pouring that sample in there, and then filling the rest of the glass with tonic. It gives it like it's almost like a Sprite. The dog is back. Why does that dog, whenever I start a video, it hears my voice? My voice is kind of like that deep, bellowing beckingness. And I don't know. I'm inside. That dog hears me, comes over here, sits at my back window, and just barks at me. I'm only going to have to put up with it for a little bit longer. And then it'll probably just be somebody else's dog I have to deal with. Oy. So now the finish is pretty much given up all it can give. And it's just kind of a lingering kind of aftertaste. But it's not horrible, it's not bad. And here's where that tonic water comes in. That tonic water will kind of loosen it up. And so it won't have that sort of aftertaste in it. It'll be just like, kind of like drinking a soda, like a Sprite. But you get a little more out of it than a Sprite. Well, there it is. It's pretty nice, excellent gin. Definitely a shelfer. I'm definitely going to be having that. So let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thank you for stopping by at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Have a good one.